right, so I've heard from several people that I need to look at today's symbol, and it's only today for another half hour or so, so I'm gonna get it in here quick. This is for April 8th, but real fast before I get to that, I wanna say hello to my 3 newest members, Synth of the Abyss, Bunkered Gaming, and yesterday's Wordle with Steven. So thank you for joining. And a quick shout out to shoutouts for being my latest member to get that red T next to their name by making it past the 1 month mark. But now let's take a look at today's symbol. Let's see, I started a puzzle earlier today with my youngest son's favorite starting word, which is alien. Let's go with my oldest son's favorite word, which is ratio today. I know a lot of people like ratio. Okay, now interesting. So, now normally my assumption on the first word, because we don't really know anything, is that whichever symbol I get the most of is gray. Okay, so I'm gonna work off the assumption that R, T, and O are gray at this point. We'll see. Which means, well, no, sorry, that not that R, T, and O are gray, that the first, third, and fifth letters in the answer are gray. That's different than saying that R, T, and O are gray. In fact, if the flames are yellow, then they will probably be R, T, and O. They could be A and I though, and it could be flipped. So we don't know much right now. So I think what would be good is to try something with an A and an I and not R, T, and O and see what happens. So something like, but not faith because we didn't want to use the T. How about maids? Maids would be good. Okay, so these are obviously grays then because there's only a few options. Either these are greens, which means we just won and it didn't tell us that, so they're not greens. So if these were yellows, that would mean the first, third, and fifth letters were in the first word and also in the second word. But we only repeated the A and the I. So those have to be grays, which means the second and the fourth letters are in the word ratio and they're not A or I, or we'd have a yellow on the second one. So it's R, T, or O for the second and fourth letters. So let's do something with 2 of those letters. How about prone? Prone seems good. Although, we know that the R, T, and O, we know they're in the second and fourth position, whichever ones they are. So it would be good to use... Alright, let's go with great instead. Now, I know that we know there's no A, but that's okay. We're just trying to get some more information at this point. Okay. So, the plus must be the green, which means the second letter is an R. Now, the fourth letter was in this first word, not in the second word, so it's not an A or an I. It's not the R. It has to be a T or an O, and it was not in this word, so it's not the T. So the fourth letter is an O. Now, the first letter was in great, but not in maids or ratio, so it's not the A, or the R, or the T. So it's the G or the E, and it's not the G because it's yellow, so it's E, R, something, A, something. No, not A. It's not A. The fourth letter, I think they said the fourth letter was an A. It actually has to be O, sorry. It has to be O. So, something like this. Ooh, now that's interesting. Could it be error? It could be error because the way this works, if you think about how Wordle works, if your guess was error and if the answer was error, no, if your guess was error and the answer was ratio, that first R would be yellow and the other 2 R's would be gray. And so that fits with this color coding up here. And I'm not sure what else is gonna fit this pattern. So I think I'm gonna guess error. Okay, it was error, there you go. That's really tricky when you have the triple R like that, so very interesting. Now, it's also interesting that, I guessed a word with an R at the beginning, and there was 3 options to get a green, and I got a yellow. But very interesting puzzle. So let me know how you did with today's symbol, or maybe yesterday's symbol by the time you're watching this, because it's almost tomorrow for me when I'm filming this. And if you haven't seen my puzzle hunt that I posted yesterday, today, whatever, be sure to go check that out. I'll have a link in the description, and I'll see you again soon with some more puzzles. Ooh, okay, now we can't do gumbo. Now I did turn hard mode on. I've had some suggestions to try hard mode. So now we just need to use 2 words using letters we haven't already used. So we can...
Ooh, what team is Ariza on?
Ariza's on the Lakers as well. What about, is Justice Winslow?
Justice Winslow?